Hey, welcome in. Long time no see. Actually, not really. I was out of town, and so I didn't get around to doing any life and death builds. But the very first thing I wanted to do when I saw that build buy mode was create a house that is green. If you don't know anything about me, know that I love the color green, specifically those dark, like emerald stone color. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. I only envy my sister a little bit because that's her birthstone. It's just an absolute gorgeous color. And life and death has so much of it. Dreams came true for so many people with this pack. And for me, it was all the green. I love green. I absolutely head over the hills love green. I always kind of liked green, but something somewhere like changed and it's just my favorite color now. But with this house, I really wanted to utilize the new glass roof type we got, as well as the new old looking greenhouse windows. Now, it doesn't come with a door. I made almost like a modern extension onto this house. Now, this house kind of reads a little bit older, and the extension itself would read a little bit older as well, if that makes sense. So, like, it's an old house that got a modern extension, but it's still an old house. So the extension is old too now. Yeah, baby. So I pretty much have the layout done. Things always will change up just a little bit, kind of when we get things moving. But this big area is going to be our living area. I was trying out the kitchen. It doesn't stay. I end up moving the kitchen off to the side, and that way it can be this really nice big kitchen, and I can use all the green counters and cabinets and sinks and oven and fridge that I want to. I'm telling you that green and gold are like my aesthetic. I couldn't tell you why, but there's just something about them that's so pleasing. My headphones are green and gold. My keyboard and my mouse are green and gold. And I don't even wear like a lot of gold, okay? I have some gold, but I have more silver that I wear when I wear jewelry. But green and gold together are just so aesthetically pleasing to me. I love it. I would like to mention that this house is base game Life and Death and Lovestruck. I felt like Lovestruck and Life and Death really go well together. So it felt like a no-brainer to use them together. I use the Lovestruck doors for a lot of the interior doors. So whether it's a bathroom, bedroom, we use those really beautiful Lovestruck doors. They have that green swatch with that little gold doorknob. Iconic. And the dark wood, I think, goes well with the house. I tend to pull out lots of furniture when I'm furnishing these builds, just because I want to get my options together. So I want to make sure if I'm going to use this couch, does it have a good chair to go with it? Or how does the coffee table look with it? I just like to make sure that I have enough pieces to work with, even if I don't always end up using them all. We go ahead and use the ornate mystery rug from Life and Death, and I size it up 1. And I just really like the way that it fills the space up. I do like all the rugs that come with this pack. I think they're really nice. If I had made this house bigger, I could have utilized more of the Life and Death pack. It does turn out to be a 1-bedroom, 2-bath house with an office that is obviously easily converted to a bedroom if that's what you please. I really do try to make sure that I use as much as possible. So we're going to use the bathtub, but we're also going to use the shower. Make sure we're using both types of sinks, the mirror, and just really give this pack all I've got. I'm so curious to know, have you bought the pack? Is it on your wish list? Are you enjoying what you're seeing from it? Because the build buy is really great. And of course, this is crazy, right? This is not your everyday household that's going to be all green everywhere, all day, every day, green, green, green. This was really just so I could have fun and see all the green that comes in this pack. But I definitely think it's a super nice build buy. I haven't actually done any gameplay. Like I said, I've been out of town, a couple states away, visiting a friend, and then getting back was my son's birthday. So fully threw myself into getting ready for his birthday party. So that way his day is perfect. And so I haven't had the time to just get in here and have fun with the gameplay. Building was the best that I could do. So I extended the house a little bit so I could have a little more room in the dining room because I really wanted to use the hutch that you saw me put in there. Once again, trying to make sure that I utilize as much of the pack that I can. The greenhouse is only accessible through the dining room, which may be a little weird, but I think it's fine, honestly. One of those things that sometimes you just have to make the layout work, right? And I wanted this big fancy kitchen, but I wanted the extension of this little greenhouse. So you do what you got to do. And you get to the greenhouse through the dining room. I would say that for as much green and gold come in this pack, I wish some things had the option of changing to silver versus gold, which is a lot, I know. Or maybe they could have just stuck with one thing, because as we're looking at this right now, obviously the kitchen is green and gold, the counters and cabinetry. But when you look at the door frame as well as the wallpaper in the dining room, they're silver. It's green and silver. The door, green and silver. But then the rugs are green and gold. So it almost felt like that could have been thought about a little bit more, that maybe the doors and the wallpapers could have been more green and gold because the furniture is green and gold. So I used the really pretty little ornate spikes on top of the roof. At first, I didn't realize there was a difference between the two little spikes, the little ornaments. And then I realized one is for the tip of a round roof or an octagonal roof. And then the other one is for a normal, like, gabled roof. We get there in the end, but I didn't realize the difference at first. It will change a little bit because I go back and play around with it and realize my mistake. I wanted to keep the house very dark, almost gothic feeling, because that is kind of the vibe of this pack. It's very like this dark elegance, Victorian style. I love all the detail and things like the windows and the doors. I definitely keep it really dark because I wanted to use more green, but it didn't feel like a big option for the exterior of the house. I finally figure out what's wrong with the spikes after all that time. It honestly looks so much better when you have it correctly laid out. Of course, getting here using a little Lovestruck planter boxes. They're so pretty. Probably one of my favorites now. I have this problem where I want everything to be symmetrical, which doesn't always work. Everything can't be symmetrical all the time. It just is what it is, and I have to learn to accept that. Sometimes windows on houses look a little weird. Then you have to let it go. I'm telling myself, not you. You have to let it go, Kat. It can't all be symmetrical all the time. I try though. I really do. At this point, I'm realizing I'd like a bigger patio for this house. A little wraparound moment, if you will. It needed something back here. And I think that this really helps fill in the yard. I've at this point darkened up the house a little bit and added on a paneling to add a little extra dimension. Then I realized that Lovestruck's roof trim has this really pretty green swatch. Of course, I had to use it and just add it in. I create a little chimney moment because we do have a fireplace, and I feel like it adds a little extra to the roof. The roof was looking a little bare. It needed something, and I didn't like any of the rebuilt chimneys that we had. It's a little premature for me to get in here and start landscaping, but I really wanted to add more green to the exterior. And that obviously was going to happen with landscaping. So we take the pale, low-lying yellow flowers I'm going to edge out a little area that will almost be like a fence for keeping our flowers in. It's just a little edge. It helps create this like creeping effect to your landscaping. And it also fills in the ground really nicely so you don't see all the roots from all the bushes. I was using a lot of purple and purple swatches for the landscaping. I just really like how it looks. Plus, it ties in with the Lovestruck planter boxes. And I'm honestly just grabbing plants and moving them around. It's really a very like, you just get a feel for it. You're going to set it, kind of take a look at it, move things around, alt place them, rotate, and from there you can get an idea if you like it or not. So at this point, I really like how the landscaping is looking, and we're going to use the new string of lights, kind of alt place them into the column itself. I know it's clipping a little bit with the middle column, but I'm okay with that because the effect of having these lights is so fun. We always need more string lights, fairy lights. Oh my gosh. We are preparing to decorate for Christmas, hopefully sooner than later. And I'm just imagining all the fun stuff that I want to do in my room and in the house to really get in the Christmas spirit. I want twinkle lights everywhere. Please and thank you. I carved out a little space in this patio area and built a pool for this house. It felt like a very fun thing to do to, once again, take up some space in the backyard and also give the sim another activity. And because it's this big built-in fenced in backyard, I was able to kind of pull it back on the landscaping in the back area. While in the front, I could have lots of fun and really just have this pretty lush landscaping. I was able to chill in the back and keep it cool. I've gone ahead and added some trees that are in the surrounding environment and just alt place them a little bit just to take up more space on the sides of the lot. I decided to go ahead and use the Reaper Rewards little bicycle out front. It felt very fitting. We use the new swing set. There are no kids, but adults love to swing as well. So swing away, swing, swing, sweet chariot. I like to alt place some low-lying flowers or even some grass underneath the trees to add a little bit more of this organic feel to the landscaping. Now it's finally time to come in here and start cluttering and decorating this house, making it feel more like a home and really getting to use all the fun stuff that life and death has to offer. I loved getting in here and alt placing things onto this hutch. It was fun to fill in the details of what I thought that they might store in their dining room, which ends up being juice and books with a few plants thrown in. Definitely so fun, and I really like the way it looks. We get to put the new lamps in here and the chandelier. They're all very pretty, and of course it all goes well with each other. Also, do you see the craziness with the weird clipping on the windows and the curtains? Like, the windows are in front of the curtains, but they're obviously not. Anyways, weird little glitches like that just keep life interesting. And I'm serious. I am just cluttering everything up, trying to make sure I use a lot of the green clutter as well as gold. I really just love the way that it starts turning out with all the clutter in place, all these candles and books everywhere. It's so fun. My only regret is that I didn't use the book note kit because we know it's a favorite. I think it would be a really wonderful addition to what we're seeing with the Life and Death pack. The furniture just feels like it would be great for a office study. And the book note kit has office study vibes all over it with the stacked books everywhere. It's so fun. I needed a little something for this corner right here, and I didn't want to use another plant because base game is severely lacking plant options. And I mean, while there are some great ones with Lovestruck and even Life and Death, it wasn't the vibe that I was looking for. So I put a little table here with a lamp, a plant, and the little bone Hilda. It fit the vibes. And bone Hilda is always a plus. I don't know if you caught it, but I put a window from the kitchen into the greenhouse. Once again, with that thought that this was an extension that was added on after the house was built. I just thought that was a fun little detail. I feel like I never use these specific curtains, and I used them a lot in this build. The colors just matched really well, whether it was this beige and tan one or the green and brown swatch. I think they work really well together. We're in the office and we're finally getting to add a little bit of clutter, add a computer, some books, and really bring this whole room to life. It did, however, feel a little dark in here, and I wasn't quite sure why. So we try to brighten it up with curtains that will bring a little more lightness into this room. The bathroom ends up being this very long space, and I'm here for it. Sometimes bathrooms are weird shapes, and as long as they have everything you need, can you really complain? I do take note to put the little Grim Reaper gnome out here because he just felt fitting. Now it's finally time to work on this green room, this greenhouse. I really did save it for last because I was limited on packs and it made me a little worried thinking, what was I going to fill this space with? But in retrospect, I shouldn't have been nervous. Like, there's obviously great things to put in this space, whether it's planter boxes so that your sim can actually use this room for its intended purpose, or some actual plants that I couldn't find space for in the home that I wanted to use. I do alt place these, so if there's something that doesn't work, I will play test this house and make sure that it is good to go. Sometimes you just never know. However, there are obvious things like the little orange tree being in the planter pot. That's not going to work. But I liked the thought of it. I liked how it looked. So I all placed it and I'm good with that. Then, of course, it wouldn't be The Sims without, a little chessboard for your Sims to play and gain that logic skill. I wasn't digging this version, so I ended up changing it to this one that has that great green wrought iron. And then get the matching chairs that I already have in the back patio. It's perfect. Brings it all together. I really love this house. I think it's super beautiful. It's definitely a little weird being all green. Just the name of a game. And crazy old me, and just me wanting to get in here and use all the green swatches from Life and Death. We're just getting in here and adding terrain paint, and we are basically done with this house. So I think it's time we jump into the screenshots. If you like this build, it is base game, Life and Death, and Lovestruck, and it is play tested, ready for you and your sim to get in here and enjoy all the green. Because I definitely did. If you do decide you want this house, it is on the gallery. My EA ID is katxthrash, just like the name here on YouTube. The holidays are fast approaching, so I really hope that whatever you do, that you're happy and you're taken care of. Whether that's you taking care of you or others taking care of you, because this can be a hard time for some people. But I hope you know that you're loved. Yes, you're loved. I really do appreciate every single one of you hanging out here, watching my video. You're so loved, bestie. Thanks for being here on Earth. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely keep coming back for more. I hope you have a great night wherever you are. Bye, y'all.